India and Hong Kong are among the first places in Asia to suspend all flights from Britain. Fears are rising over a new strain of COVID-19 in the UK that is up to 70% more infectious. Hong Kong's ban takes effect from midnight tonight, while India's will begin on Wednesday. Japan and South Korea are closely monitoring the situation. Canada and several countries in the Middle East and Latin America are on a growing list of those stopping UK flights. Britain is already cut off from much of Europe as countries on the continent look to keep the new variant out. France has even suspended all travel links, including freight lorries, for 2 days. Prime Minister Boris Johnson is chairing a meeting of the government's emergency committee. Large parts of the UK are now under new tougher restrictions after cases surged following the discovery of the new strain. Well, Ollie Barrett is in London and he joins us now to tell us more. Now, we've heard earlier from, your UK Health Secretary saying that, this new COVID variant is getting out of control. Therefore, what are the restrictions, the further restrictions that we can see in the UK?
We could well see parts of the UK, parts of England specifically, moving into that highest tier 4 in terms of coronavirus restrictions. Not clear whether that is imminent or whether it is being considered by ministers for the days ahead. There is a review of the tiering system due at the end of this month. But we saw with the movement of London into the highest tier recently that government ministers can move ahead of those planned review dates if and when they see data that worries them in terms of the spread of COVID-19. And if ministers were to be told that this new variant was spreading rapidly in other parts of the country that aren't yet in that highest tier 4 level, we could see ministers making those changes as and when they see fit. The other thing that government ministers are discussing today is exactly what to do about the freight and haulage situation in the UK. That is something that is concerning ministers, but also the general public too, particularly ahead of the Christmas period and, of course, ahead of the end of the year, at which point Brexit transition terms end with the European Union and no trade deal having yet been reached between the UK and the EU.
Ollie, countries are cutting off the UK, not just in Europe, but countries here in Asia as well. How much disruption is this causing?
Well, as I was mentioning, the freight and haulage situation is one of the key areas of concern for the government. A lot of goods and products come into the UK from European countries via the Channel Tunnel, via ferries, lorries, etc., all bringing goods and produce and food and medicines. And some of that is already being disrupted. Now, supermarkets here in the UK are saying, look, they can deal with this for the next 24 hours or 48 hours or so. There's already lots of produce in the UK. They're not immediately going to run out of food. But if that situation persists much longer, it will certainly lead to some shortages. Sainsbury's, the supermarket chain, for example, saying that things like citrus fruit and lettuce could start running out within days if the situation isn't addressed. We have heard from France that it is looking at ways of immediately or very imminently reopening the route of some of that freight and haulage into the UK. And then we have to think about individuals and people who are now either stuck abroad trying to get back to the UK or stuck in the UK having been planning to head to other parts of the world. So many thousands of people around the world already affected by this, and many of them not knowing exactly when the situation is going to change or how. So potentially very disruptive for the UK, but other countries too. And coming back to that idea that the UK is currently still negotiating with the European Union a potential trade deal, which would be due to come into effect on January the 1st. So add that uncertainty into the mix as well.
Yeah, certainly it's a very complicated time for the UK and the rest of us as well. Thanks very much, Ollie Barrett, speaking to us from London.